Happy Devil's Monday! Again, this is the Woo Report! The Woo Report! Episode 375. Big Bahl signs 2-year deal. Yes, Big Bahl as in Kevin Bahl. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. We talked about size, we've talked about speed, but now we're going to talk about the Devils signing Kevin Bahl to a 2-year deal, is what Shane Van Sickle says, smart bridge deal. 2-year contract. Kevin Bahl playing a career high 42 games in the 22-23 season, with Ryan Graves going to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The size of the defense remains. Kevin Bahl, 6'6", 230 pounds on the blue line. Made great strides this past season, signing a 2-year contract worth $2.1 million annual average value of just a little bit over $1 million a year. As the Devils press release saying that in 2023-24 season, he will make $900,000. And the 2024-25 season, which the 25 season, I predicted that the Devils would win the Cup, $1.2 million. The announcement was made by Executive Vice President General Manager Tom Fitzgerald. Kevin Bahl coming to the Devils via the trade of Taylor Hall to the Arizona Coyotes. Looking like a great trade for your New Jersey Devils, which started with Adam Larson, Taylor Hall. Now you got Big Bahl, Dawson Mercer out of it. You can say Siegenthaler as well. Amazing. It's amazing how that trade has bettered the New Jersey Devils. We knew it was a trade for the future. The future is now. The beef, love the beef, 230 pounds. Kevin Bahl using his size to his advantage, his reach, especially during the playoffs against the New York Rangers, leveling players, needing that size on the Devils' blue line. Losing Ryan Graves, that size, no problem. Kevin Bahl coming in his own at a very affordable rate. He did not have arbitration rights, but to get a 2-year deal, again, I like what Shane Van Sickle said in the YouTube Live, a smart bridge deal. Michael Goldberg says, I love this news. I want a big shout out to David Decker of Town Toyota in beautiful Ledgewood, New Jersey. Town Toyota, if you ever need a Toyota, get it through David Decker. He's hooked up all of us with Toyotas. My wife, Shorts guy, not sure what Beer Baron did if he bought a Toyota from David Decker, but I'm sure he talked to David Decker. You know, there's all these car salespeople out there. It's only David Decker I would really trust when it comes to Toyota. Go to Town Toyota, Route 46, in beautiful Ledgewood, New Jersey. And yes, I'm endorsing it. They do not compensate us for that plug. Anyway, moving forward, you better fix that rim, David. Anyway, so Kevin Bahl, second round selection, 55th overall in the 2018 draft by Arizona. Did we just have a podcast about second rounders? That's why I love the NHL draft, because the first round, it's a little bit of hype, some great players, but the second round is where the business is done. And the Devils have had a history of selecting great second-round picks. They also selected Nathan Bastian as well in the second round in 2016. But I love the beefalytics here. I love the muscle here. I love the size. And if Kevin Bahl can progress, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with on the third pairing. Nice job by Tom Fitzgerald, Devils GM. Another great deal as the Devils try to move forward into becoming Stanley Cup contenders. Right now, everything is done on paper. Just remember that. It's all on paper. Paper, paper, paper. But once the puck drops and you see Jack Hughes fly right by you, Dawson Mercer fly right by you, Toffoli fly right by you, Jesper Bratt fly right by you, Nico Hischier, they're just going to fly that top six. And Kevin Bahl, he's got that size. And I'm really loving this New Jersey Devils team. I'm really loving this New Jersey Devils team. Big things happening for the podcast very soon. As we're approaching 700,000 downloads this week. Getting there, getting close. Close but no cigar for now. As we head and march towards 1 million downloads for this podcast. Again, I can't stress enough, I can't divulge confidential information, but there are big things happening with the Let's Go Devils podcast where we're going to invite you for the fun. Hashtag we are fun. We're going to do a lot of fun things this upcoming season. We're going to be traveling. Now that the pandemic is over, we're going to get back to traveling. Carolina is a place that we may go to, Raleigh, North Carolina, to avenge that playoff series loss. Tampa Bay, Lightning, Amalie Arena, maybe we will be going down there. We're going to Arizona, the podcast, Arizona and Vegas, March 16th, March 17th. Come on, fly on the plane with us. There's a nice flight at United Airlines. Hopefully they don't delay it like they always do. I'm not bringing my pets onto that flight. Let me tell you, United doesn't exactly have the greatest reputation, so we're going to head out around a 7 o'clock flight on Friday, head to Arizona, party it up there on ASU campus, meet up with Trey Matthews of the Locked On podcast. Locked On Devils podcast. Do a podcast outside the Mullet Arena. Party all night. Next morning, get in the SUV, hightail it to Vegas on St. Paddy's Day. In Vegas, probably going to meet up with our good friend Sean Burke, good friend of the podcast, maybe. I don't know. Should be a good time. Tag along. We're also thinking about one day have a garden invasion. Maybe we'll go up to Boston and meet up with Max and Paul Marino as well. Invade the Bruins arena. It was a TD Bank. I don't even know what it is. Used to be a Fleet Center. That's years ago. Used to be Boston Garden. I don't know. Hey, how about Philadelphia? Go down to Philly. Meet us at Chickies and Pete's on Packer Avenue, and then take the bus over to the Wells Fargo Center and invade Philadelphia. This is the time. Kick them when they're down, because it's now our time. Then Madison Square Garden, I mentioned that before. Do we go to Montreal? Do we go to Toronto? There's lots of things we like to do. Lots of things I like to do. But keep it here with the podcast. We're going to have a lot of fun. Trust me on this. And it takes a lot of planning. This is what we've been doing all off season. I know Shorts Guy's been planning. He's been making a lot of T-shirts, Beer Baron, he's designing stuff. Nick Villano is a writing machine. He's got, yes, that Nick Villano, pucksandpitchforks.com, and also my co-host on the State of Fan Address. This is Nick Villano. He's holding the little baby right here. He's got one hand on the keyboard, and he's blogging away on pucksandpitchforks.com. He is a writing machine, I'll tell you. And I visited Nick Villano's fortress down in South Jersey. I used to say it was, Bunker North and Bunker South. No, it's a fortress, his house. Like, you can't get through. It's got like a moat around it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding about the moat. But, if it floods, it probably is a moat. Let's see. I'm just getting some random texts. But anyway, Zach Stevenson says, Sam, if you come to Toronto, be prepared for those Leaf fans. As a Devils fan, going to see them play against Toronto, so those fans are something. Zach, I've been to Toronto before. It's not a big deal. Okay. I bring that, that trash talking into their arena. I've seen their fans. They like to yap. And yap. Man, yap, 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 yap. And I like to yap, 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 yap. Sometimes I take it a little too far. Just a word of advice, don't chant 51st State. They get really offended by it. Like the chicken fingers as well, thrown out onto the ice. God forbid they do it. I mean, God forbid we do that, something really dumb like that. I mean, it's not like Toronto fans haven't done anything dumb as well. Joseph Lanham says Dallas fans are the worst. All I know about Dallas Stars fans is they were crying after Jason Arnott scored the game-winning goal against Eddie Eagle, in the 2000 Stanley Cup Finals, Game 6, and that place went quiet. Scott Gomez. You ever see that footage? If you remember, like, when Jason Arnott scored that goal and the team just ran out, or skated out on the ice, and in the end there you see Scott Gomez, like, almost jumped over everybody over the glass. Replay it since it's the off season. Let's see here. Steve Engel says, ain't no hockey fans in Dallas. They're all Cowboys fans. Yeah, I don't like the Cowboys as well. Also this week, I'll be at the Metallica concert at MetLife Stadium, scouting out the area. I'll be scouting out the area at MetLife Stadium on Friday night at the Metallica concert. I'm going to be doing geek things. So you may see me in the parking lot. You may see me doing some stuff. I may go to the cattle tunnel and try to test our equipment as we will try to walk through that cattle tunnel and move our way to the other side and see the old Continental Airlines Arena or Brendan Byrne, whichever you prefer. Steve Engel says the radio call of the 2000 Cup was gold. Yes, Mike Miller. We got to get Mike Miller onto this podcast. He's like, the Stanley Cup has fallen from the stars. The new millennium has its first Stanley Cup champion. It was amazing. But I like the first call, Mike Miller. Through the Lincoln Tunnel to the Meadowlands. That was a good call. And we got to get John Hennessy as well. John Hennessy, he called the 2003 Stanley Cup Finals. You knew that the Devils had it in the bag. You knew that the Devils were going to win. Even though, like, when we were chanting, we want the cup with, like, 2 minutes left with a 3-0 lead, you still had really nervous Devils fans like, shh, don't jinx it. Shh. It's like minute 30 left. We want the cup. Shh, don't jinx it. I can't stand those fans. It's like, we have this game. 3-0 anyway. All right. Steve Engel says, I think Mike Miller thought that we lost Game 5. We're going to blow the series. Yeah, I remember that Game 5. at Continental Airlines Arena. I was superstitious. I said, I'm not going to the bathroom till we score a goal, and the Devils didn't score a goal. I had to go real bad. Then thanks to Vladimir Malakov's blown assignment, Mike Modano scored the goal, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then I was like beelining it to the restroom. ANJ Devil 2. I'm not going to repeat what you're saying, but I understand your opinion. Mike Miller. I'll tell you what, I could do a Mike Miller. If I was a if I was a PA announcer, if I was a play-by-play announcer, I'd be screaming on the top of my lungs for a goal. Not on all of them, but some of them. I know some of you like my football calls. Got to have a little humor and all that. Anyway, I just want to thank all those tuning in to this podcast, dropping the podcast at midnight for your morning commute as we start the month of August. Also, don't forget, play the lottery, play the Mega Millions. If you win, donate to the Let's Go Devils podcast so we can get our private jet. That would be kind of cool. But just to recap, Kevin Bahl signs for 2 years. And good signing by Tom Fitzgerald. And, well, I guess the news cycle is going to be a little bit quieter. Still wondering what's happening with Team Canada, Hockey Canada and their findings. I'm still just like waiting. Are they waiting for the dog days of summer where the news cycle is just blah to release it? Don't understand about that. Steve Engel says, the Devils are about to extend a lofty place in NHL history with their third Stanley Cup champion in 9 years. 100-day regular season points. Playoff series wins over Boston, Tampa, Ottawa, and now Anaheim. The New Jersey Devils are the 2003 Stanley Cup champions. That was a good call by John Hennessy. Very good call. Very good call. All right, getting out of here, hitting the button. Also, before I forget, Matt and Kelly, if you're listening, their wedding. Yes, good friends of the podcast. Their wedding is this week. I believe it's August 4th. So before I forget, I'll be congratulating you all week. But I hope you have a great day on your wedding day, August 4th. Now, if you still need us to do a podcast during your cocktail hour, we're still available at a very reasonable price. We do bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, sweet 16s, college graduation, high school graduation. If you want the podcast to be doing it in your backyard, talking Devils hockey, you know how some of you have family members are Rangers fans. Why don't you invite the Let's Go Devils podcast? We can podcast anywhere. For more information, just DM me on my Twitter account at PrimetimeSamWoo. Getting hungry right now. Mrs. Wu is not around, so guess what? Meow, meow. It's time to eat some chow. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you to David Decker of Town Toyota in Ledgewood, New Jersey. Yes, that David Decker. Buy your Toyotas from him. Thank you. This is the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go Devils.